Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live. I am Coach Sherri, and today is day 15 of 60 days that I am going live. This is a challenge that I've set, and I am going live leading up to my Sweet 16. My channel will be 16 years old this June. And today I just wanted to just mingle, and that's why I'm calling it Mingle Monday Live. And I hope that you'll join me and join in. And as we mingle, it's going to be kind of a networking opportunity where we can meet each other here, talk in the chat. If you are a content creator, share information about your channel, and just have a opportunity to kind of chop it up. You know, um, I am trying to put more content out there. I did earlier have a video. I was talking about, it's never too late, and don't let your age be a barrier for you to start anything. Some people feel like, oh, my time has come and gone, and I'll just leave it to the young folk. Well, we are all young folk because it's all hands on deck. This world needs all of our perspectives and all of our creative minds and innovation at the table so that we can make this thing called life go round. And I just hope that you never give up and just keep on grinding. And you just never know where your breakthrough when it will happen. It may be happening right now. You may already be amidst your breakthrough, but it's never too late. There's so many people that have had success at so many different ages, and there's always opportunities for new beginnings. Nothing is one and done. When I coach people, I always encourage multiple streams of income. Definitely not relying on one particular stream. So at any age, you can accumulate different streams doing different things. And it's sometimes just a matter of revealing what that other thing is. And I get it, that can be challenging, but it is definitely possible. And today in the Carolinas, here in Charlotte, it was so hot. I think it got up as high as 85 degrees. It felt like a July, August type of day. I wonder, what was the weather like where you are? Was it just as hot, or is it still on the cool side? I know we're going to have several hot days like that, and then it's going to cool off. But I did walk down to the Romare Bearden Park. It's a beautiful park in uptown Charlotte. It's near the Knights baseball stadium. I believe the name of the stadium is Truist, and it is a beautiful, beautiful community park. If you have a park in your community, go check it out. Most cities, especially, and communities are doing some really interesting things with their parks, trying to make them more inviting for people to come and enjoy. They're not just for children, they're for all ages. And that particular park has a community garden where they actually plant vegetables. I was trying to figure out what vegetables they had trying to come up now. I believe there was a tomato plant, but I've seen collard greens growing there, green peppers. Now, there's no sign on there. I have no idea who it belongs to. Can the community just go and pick at whim? And who plants it? I've never seen anyone tending to the garden, but it is a beautiful garden. They have a couple of beds that they use for the planting. But again, this is just Mingle Monday Live, and we're just here mingling and just getting to know one another. YouTube is a very interesting platform, virtual as it is, but there are a lot of people that are connected in many ways. And I'm fortunate to have some great connections here myself. And over the weekend on Saturday, I was part of an empowerment conference where five of us got together, and Marlene Motivates was the one who organized it all, and we all had our own time frame, which was 45 minutes on our channel to talk about our topic. But the theme was blossom into your best self. And my topic was the process of becoming. I know when I go to conferences, I always take notes. I'm always meeting new people. And my goal is to always walk away with something new, something that's going to transform me. And I'm hopeful that what I presented, and I know what the other ladies presented, was definitely transforming. Now, the other content creators that participated were um, Boss Life Online. It was Pandy's Hair Candy and More, Be Amazing Sylvia, Coach Mary Ma, myself, and again, Marlene Motivates. Marlene puts these empowerment conferences on 4 times a year, and they are very impactful and timely. So I love that, we are just entering spring, and definitely lots of things are blossoming. And, for the theme to be blossom into your best self, I thought that was a very good choice of a name to call it. But yeah, I feel that if today is any indication of how the weather is going to continue, it's going to be a hot summer. I have to figure out where we're going to go, and, just to step off for a little bit. But I do know coming up next month, my youngest of three is going to be graduating from college. This is her last week of classes, and then they have a whole bunch of senior things going on. They're having a soiree and just a lot of different activities. I remember my senior year in college, and I really had a great experience when I was in school. Just met wonderful people, did some really interesting things, and I just enjoyed every moment. And the week leading up to graduation, we we went to the Bahamas, and one young lady that went with us, and she was a senior as well, we came back on a Friday and graduation was on Sunday. No, we came back on Thursday and graduation was on Sunday. And Friday they posted the um list of who was graduating. And I remember going to that list, and she came right behind me, and we both were looking for our names, and her name wasn't on there. Oh my goodness. She was one credit short. Not one class, not 3 credits, but one credit short of graduating. And she was completely devastated. She couldn't understand what happened. And, this is all before technology. So it's not, everything was kind of manual. I see Conscious Business Services and Opportunities is in the building. Greetings to you. Thank you for being here and listening. I'm calling this Mingle Monday Live. So if you want to drop the link to your channel, or if you would like to say something about your channel, please be sure to put it in the comment section. Conscious Business Services. I'm gonna leave you up for a little bit. And I appreciate you for being here for sure. It's been a very long day. Oh my goodness, y'all. Tomorrow I have to hit the road. I have a conference to attend, and I'm on a panel, but I'm on 2 panels. And I thought that the panels were, going to be one panel one day, the other panel the next, because it's a 3-day conference. But both panels are tomorrow. So I really have to build up my endurance. And, luckily I'm talking about something I know, something that I love and I'm passionate about. So it's not a heavy lift in terms of figuring out what I'm going to say, and, nothing like that. But I do want to make sure that what I do say is beneficial to the people that are there. They're going to be people from all across the state of North Carolina, and I'm just excited to network with them, meet some new people, hear their stories, learn some new things, hear what's coming down the pipeline from the federal government side of things, and, just trying to take some good information back to implement right away. That's what I enjoy about conferences. So When was the last time that you went to a conference? I know that with COVID, a lot of conferences were virtual or canceled altogether. And between, I want to say last year, definitely towards the end of 2022, they started to revamp conferences, which was really good. So I'm glad. I see TCNCHBCU Queen TV is in the building. I'm glad to see you. How are you doing? Yes, that's so interesting that we had Lincoln University in common. Lincoln University is the first HBCU in the country. It was founded in 1854. That's my alma mater. And that's the school I was saying that, when we came back from senior week being in the Bahamas and my my classmate did not see her name on the list of graduates because she was one credit short, and it was really sad. She was from Harlem, and her family of course was coming for the weekend for graduation on that Sunday, and instead of them seeing her graduate, they just had to come and pack her up. And back then there was no virtual schools, no virtual classes or anything like that, and your last few credits, I forget how many, maybe your last 12 credits, you had to literally be, take it at the school. And so I believe she came back that summer and had to take one class. But that's still a huge expense. And where Lincoln is, you're not really commuting from too many places, definitely not from New York. So you also have to stay on campus. And that's a big expense, especially when you think that you're graduating. I felt really, really bad for her. And so that's why, like with my daughter, um, she had to take some, kind of like fly by night electives just to kind of get them out the way. And one in particular was a boxing class. And I told her, I said, listen, don't let that boxing class mess you up now. Because, it's those easy A classes, at least you think they are, that will trip you up. And I'm telling y'all, just think about it. Lincoln University is the first HBCU founded in 1854. That was before the end of slavery. And I tell anyone, I've been to colleges all across the country, especially HBCUs all throughout the South, and I've never seen a more beautiful campus than Lincoln. Now, Spelman's campus is beautiful, but the surrounding areas not so much. And that's the point. Lincoln, not only is the campus gorgeous, but so is outside of the campus. And that's because it's nestled in, it's not in an urban area, it's nestled in more of a rural setting. However, it's becoming more suburban because developers have brought up much of the farmland, but it's still so nice around it. It's really a beautiful campus. So I see Conscious Business Services and Opportunities. Her channel is focused on helping our community get comfortable with spirituality and being materially rich. There is also opportunities to earn income, and I highlight other entrepreneurs. You definitely need to check out Conscious Business Services and Opportunities. So if you're just coming in, this is Mingle Monday Live. If you have a channel, if you're a content creator, please be sure to drop something about your channel in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, be sure to drop something about your channel name, the link to it in the comment section. If I have any mods that are in the building, if you can grab some of the channels that are here and drop their links in the chat, that will be phenomenal. I appreciate that. Everyone is speaking, and TC is saying, I went to HBCU week and the Congressional Black Caucus conference last year. How was it? How was it? Was it in DC? Was that conference in DC? I'm trying to get on the and I keep saying, I'm saying I'm trying to get on it. However, I have not really have taken any actions towards getting on it. but I want to be part of the NBA's. They have a HBCU advisory committee, and I really want to be part of it. I know Taraji B. Henson is on there, and that's appropriate because she went to Howard, but I really would love to be part of that for sure. Yes, Lincoln, PA. Hmm. It is. Conscious Business Services, Lincoln University is a small school. It's about 2,000 in terms of population, and so it's close knit. Everyone knows everyone. I remember I had a cousin that went to college at a state university in New York, and she graduated a couple of years before I did, and I went to her graduation, and we had to go shopping for her dress or something. I can't remember, but we went to the mall real quick. And when we came back, she was running late for her graduation rehearsal. And her graduation was outdoors on the football field or on some field. And I just remember she was so late, and we were walking up to the gate and we could look down on the rehearsal, and it was thousands. It looked like thousands of students. And she was like, like no one misses me there. She's just one of a number. And I was thinking, and I may have said it out loud. I was like, wow, if this was Lincoln, they wouldn't have started it without me. They'd be like, wait, where's Sherri? And that's how we are. We were back then, and I'm sure it still is. It's like we all look out for each other, and that's how it is even after graduation. So we do have a alumni association here. They have them all over, and I'm happy that they have one in the Carolinas, but they do, especially in Philly, New York, New Jersey, DC, Baltimore. But, no matter what your age, no matter when you went to Lincoln, even whether or not you graduated, the fact that you went there, you are so welcomed and looked upon as family. So it's a wonderful environment for sure. When you speak from a place of love, you naturally energized. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I pray that I do great tomorrow. Um, I know it's going to be information that a lot of people that are coming are going to want to hear, and it's just a matter of um, just translating the information. And there's a new method that I'm going to use when I do my presentation, because now a lot of people are talking about storytelling and pulling in a story into any topic that you're speaking on. So it's not just jumping into the information, it's actually giving a story. And so I have a few stories in my head that I am going to share, and I'm just trying to figure out, since I have the two panels. One is a more presentation style, and then the other is more question answer. But they provided me with the questions so I can prepare, but I don't know. Um, so I'm trying to figure out which stories I want to use for which setting. So yes, DC has a big alumni chapter, and especially with the CIAA. The CIAA is um, the oldest collegiate. Let me get this right. Sports tournament in the country, and it's um, it's several schools. Most of them are in and there's HBCU schools, and most of them are in the Carolinas. It's Johnson C. Smith, it's St. Augustine, it's I want to say Livingstone, maybe Clafton. I think Clafton's in Maryland, maybe. Lincoln is in it. Um, Let me think. What other schools? I can't recall all the schools. If you know the schools, please let me know. But the yeah, the different schools. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'll drop the link if y'all want to come up. Yeah, let me see. I I've done this before if I have to remember how to do it. Oh yeah, Winston-Salem State is in it too. Yeah, it's cool. Conscious Business Services and Opportunities. If you want to come up, TC, if you want to come up, I just dropped the link to come up to the live. That would be cool. I'm just trying to relax a little bit tonight. I didn't want to prepare anything too big. Okay, let me see. Hello, how
Hello.
are you?
All right. How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Oh my goodness. How crazy is that though? Like I saw your name and I said, HBCU Queen TV. She must have went to an HBCU. Let me ask her what HBCU.
hmm
And out of all of the HBCUs, you know what I mean? And the fact that you also went to A&T, which is my daughter. I'm an Aggie mom, so that's so wild.
Amazing.
I know.
hmm
I know. So did you go to Lincoln for your undergrad or graduate?
North Carolina A&T undergrad, Lincoln Masters.
Okay, all right.
hmm
Yeah, that's so cool. A lot of people go there. So do you work like in a social work kind of frame of things?
No,
No. Okay. All right.
no, not at all. I'm involved in politics.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good.
hmm
That's always exciting. This is an exciting time. Hi, Sasha
Wow.
Chick. How are you doing?
Tell me about it. You know, when folks, it's really interesting because when folks are beefing in these YouTube streets about certain things, I
Hmm.
just sit back and I look and I listen and I'm like, if you only knew what
I
we
know.
really need to be fighting for.
Yep. Yep. I
It's
look at it as a distraction, and so
absolutely.
as things on YouTube escalate, I'm like, ooh, something major must be going on.
And
And they,
that's the case. That is the case. And there's so much that's happening.
mm-hmm,
And we're going to look around just like we've all looked around and said, wow, we had a black president already and
mm-hmm,
served his term and he's still alive.
yeah,
and
yeah,
we're on to almost two presidents after. So what we have is here an anomaly of, listen, we thought that it wasn't coming, but
yeah,
it's already here.
yeah,
How about that?
yeah. I
And
know.
so I fight differently.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fight in these YouTube corridors because it's not of interest or part of my like concern.
Right,
When I
right.
know that there are people out here who, and I mean, Lincoln people are they're the best as far as systems are concerned because Lincoln University of Pennsylvania is the most system teaching school. I think it's second to University of Pennsylvania. University of Pennsylvania is first, and then Lincoln.
Oh,
That's
really?
what their statistics said. I didn't say it, but I do repeat it every chance I get.
Say, I
Um,
mean, say that. Say more. What do you mean exactly by that?
well, some systems, that means anybody that can work in a systems environment, and usually that's government, state, city, state, and federal,
Mm-hmm.
and teaching, of course, fire department, police department, um,
Local government.
places where there is groups of people, and you have to manage groups of people,
Uh-huh.
and figure out what's best for this person. How does this person converse? How do I converse with this person over here? Because they're not getting it, or
Right.
like you just gotta go in sometime, maybe once or twice, and then that's it. But yeah, systems, knowing how to align yourself with the group, but keep
Yeah.
yourself as an individual
I
as well.
love it. I believe that. I mean, I know that it has to be true. I mean, you said it's
hmm
statistically correct, but I mean, that's all about being able to be an effective communicator
Yes.
and negotiate well. I was just talking with
Very
my
much.
daughter, who's a realtor that went to A&T. She, I'm telling her about the art of negotiation,
Hmm.
and she has some sellers that don't want to come down on their price of their home. They have this far-fetched idea of how much their house should be worth, and
Yeah.
she's finding that challenging, and I'm like, you have to learn the art of negotiation. And that's where you do that research, that's where you do your due diligence, and you find the scopes of what's around, and you give them the,
Right.
you know what I mean, you plead your case that
Absolutely.
way. People tell, stories sell, so you tell the story of what's really going on. And
There you go.
they they can't deny that. People can't deny that. And
No.
so she takes it into consideration when I tell her things. I'm so happy that my kids don't just look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. And
Uh,
so, she's definitely taking that into consideration. But I can see Lincoln developing people into that, because I just remember the
right.
different types of healthy debates we would have in
Hmm.
class. And because
Hmm.
the classroom settings were so small, you really can even take it beyond the classroom. And it never escalated into anything negative. It was
Right.
always very
Right.
healthy.
Hmm. I remember our first conversation about colorism, and I listened to folks here, when they talk about colorism, and just how ramped up folks will get, but we didn't get we didn't get that way.
No.
There were a lot of people. I'll never forget. It was the student union. No,
Mhm.
not the black student union, because it was an HBCU. It was just
Right.
the student union,
Yeah.
because we were mostly black, so we
Right.
didn't have to say that.
99% most of the time.
Well, there was still, yeah, there were still some people that were off campus that were coming onto our campus,
Mhm.
and they just didn't stay on campus. But
Right.
99% people, yeah, us did, and we uh we just had a situation where, what were we talking about? Just that quick, I forgot.
Oh, not getting ramped up, and how we didn't get ramped up when things
Right.
happen. Mhm.
When we had that meeting in the student union, and there were so many of us, and then, of course, you had all the fraternities, sororities, and then I was in the band, so all
Mhm.
everybody stepped up, and then you had, of course, the New York Philly's finest people, and the
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey folk, and then the Chicago people, the Detroit, so, and there were people from Arizona, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And we had this discussion, and it never got out of order. I mean, it
Right.
was passionate, but we waited our turn. We stuck it out as far as the conversation was concerned.
Mhm.
Points after points after points. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good experience. I'm gonna be honest. It was an excellent experience. So much fun.
Yes.
So much
I
fun.
I I I'm
And we
telling you.
didn't. And we didn't. It wasn't personal.
No.
It somehow or another, we Generation X.
Yeah. Yeah. When I go to the campus, and I don't go often, but when I do, I get filled. I
Yeah.
really dropped some tears, because it was such, and I'm just so proud of how well it's been kept up. I graduated in 91, so that was back in the 1900s. And it
Mm,
was something special then, and it's even more special now. And
right.
I'm just so happy that it kept its integrity. It could have
Yes.
gone so many different directions, because it is a small HBCU. And
Yes.
I'm so proud to say that I graduated from there. And when I'm in
Mhm.
situations, I could be with people from Chapel Hill, from USC, from Stanford, Harvard. Yeah, I'm standing right there with them. Yep, Lincoln
Absolutely.
University, Pennsylvania, the first HBCU in the country,
Absolutely.
1854. You figure that out.
Absolutely. And yeah, right. And I tell people in these YouTube streets all the time, and I don't ever forget about, I don't forget about Cheney, the Lincoln, Bowie, Wilberforce, and a couple of other schools,
Right.
because those were the schools that were around, but also having already distributed out advanced degrees.
Exactly.
Now wait, now I thought that before, 1865, so 1854, and then the colored school
1837 was,
1837.
yep, Cheney
So somebody's not doing, it's the math isn't mathing,
is not.
because we weren't supposed to know how to read and write, because if so we were caught doing that, if I'm not mistaken. So we would get, we that was death,
Yeah, yeah.
punishable. So yeah, so yeah, there's a lot that's not been said, and
And it's almost like things are kind of being, I don't ever want to say it's being rewritten, but some things are being exposed to the fact
yes,
of that we were capable and had some things that were happening for us that made us even that much more capable. I mean, just think in 1854, 1837, you know, our people were getting educated at Cheney, as a finishing school of sorts. And then
exactly. It's
they
a
were
finishing school, right?
yes, and they were receiving degrees down the road further at Lincoln University, Ashman Institute at the time.
Absolutely.
You
Thank
know,
you.
and so where were they coming from? And where did they go afterwards? But it was a safe place because it was nestled in Amish land.
Hmm.
And that's why it's so beautiful, the campus. And I encourage anyone around the country, if you are trying to figure out Black history and you don't know about Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, oh, you need to check it out.
You need to go. You need to go visit,
Yeah.
and visit the cemetery. I often tell
Yes.
people that the cemetery there is
Yes.
amazing,
The
and the
church is,
church.
oh, is phenomenal. The
Oh
church is,
my!
you just feel the hands that built it when you
Yes,
walk
you
in.
do.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
goodness.
Yes, you do. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
It's
And there's
very
no
interesting.
stranger. And that's why, like, okay, so A&T is considered GHO, greatest homecoming on earth. I
Absolutely,
get it, right?
absolutely, absolutely. You got it.
When my daughter was a freshman, and I just have to acknowledge because Slasher Chick was saying that the 1900s. Yes, it absolutely was. And my children ask me, my youngest especially, my kids are 22, 23, and 25, but when they were a little bit younger, they would be like,
Hmm.
how was it growing up in the 1900s? And I'm like, wow, I guess you're right.
Oh,
Hold on. And so I take that with me. But
wow.
yeah, that hits different, but it's true. So I'm like, well, you're right. So in the 1900s, but when I went to North Carolina A&T State University's homecoming, my daughter's freshman year,
Hmm.
and every school I go to, I compare it to Lincoln. So that's on everything. That's first of all. And I'm like, this is the greatest if you went to A&T, but it's not Lincoln because I mean, I don't really know anyone. I'm not feeling that. I felt the love of the people around because they were in love with, with everything, but I wasn't receiving it. So I was like, I don't know if this is the greatest because you're supposed to feel some kind of way. But let me tell you, I went again after she graduated. We went the year after she graduated. She graduated in 2022. So we went in 20, wait, she graduated in 2022. So we went that fall of 2022.
Okay. Okay.
And they
Oh
said that
wow.
was the largest homecoming ever.
Ever.
When I tell
Absolutely.
you, I am an advocate and I will stand on everything and say, yes, they are the
Yes.
greatest homecoming on earth.
Absolutely.
Hands
Absolutely.
down,
You
period.
you you first and foremost, you cannot compare Lincoln and Cheney to, and nor even Dell State. The reason being is because we have an athletic program as well as an academic program that is stellar and out of this world.
Yeah.
But then we
Yeah.
also have a band. And
Yeah.
now I was in the band,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I'll never forget because I was always in I love symphonic music, and I played the trombone. So
Okay.
when I got to North Carolina A&T, I'll never forget one of my freshmen. We were there like a week earlier. So one of the freshman young ladies said, "Yo, Tosh, I mean, yo, this is what's getting ready to go down. They're getting ready to have these interviews, like I had to
Uh-huh.
perform." And I was like, they were like, "You gonna try to get in the band?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it."
Uh-huh.
So I did it, and they were like, "You really know how to play," but I've been playing since I was in the fifth grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I had to learn how to step. I had to learn how to
Oh.
high
Yeah.
step. I had to learn how to play music, that kind of music, you
Right.
know, and then march at the same time, and then get on the field and do our things. So
Mhm.
it was so when you have that type of a school system, okay,
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
including now HBCUs, the
Mhm.
fraternity sororities, and all of the different professional organizations that go along with it,
Right.
it's a lot different. And in
It's
the
a
South,
lot.
they do respect music a lot more. So money was always poured into our music department,
Oh yeah.
even though it wasn't even our major. But it
Yeah.
was where I got a scholarship from. So we were there.
Yeah.
And we have so many of our, we created the whole drum line that was created from
Yeah.
North Carolina A&T State University, and
Wow.
it's in the archives. It's
Oh.
in the archives,
So it wasn't
absolutely.
FAMU or it wasn't
No,
Clark or
mm-mm-mm-mm.
anything like
Mm-mm.
that. Morris Brown.
No, no, the band, the high step, the that kind of thing. All of those schools did that.
Mhm.
What we're talking about, there was the drum lines, and then all of the like the even the like the trombone, the trumpet sections. We all had our different competitions. We
Oh
call them,
yeah.
and we competed against each other.
Wow.
Each other's section.
Mhm.
So we created that
Mhm.
whenever we would go down south, like further south. You know what I'm saying? Because the folks in the South were ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Louisiana. Oh, Grambling
Yes.
and what's the other school? Grambling and um because the Bayou Classic
Southern,
is Southern.
Southern,
Yes,
Jackson State.
thank you. Okay.
But
I don't
see, they
I
had
hate to say that thing right there because we lived in New Orleans for 3 years and we went to the Bayou Classic. They have it
Bayou
every
Classic.
yep, every Thanksgiving. That that is the business. If you have not been to the Bayou Classic,
You
what?
haven't lived, girl.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
It's
The
a
whole
whole.
Superdome filled
Oh no, no.
from the
The,
rooter to the
the,
tutor.
and it was the first classic that actually was in 1924, the Turkey Day Parade,
Mm.
and it was in Alabama. And that's when all of the because what they were trying to do, the reason for it was, of course, our schools weren't getting the money from the state, and then if you're a private school, it's even harder because they had to, they're not getting state money, but they had to, fundraise. So
Mm-hmm.
they had these fundraisers, and they would say, okay, this team against this team, your school versus our school, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how that worked, and that's how that happened.
Wow. I love it. So let me tell
Yes.
you, when I was a junior at Lincoln, I ran for Miss Lincoln and I
Oh
played the
wow.
flute for my competition because I had been playing the flute since fourth grade, duets. In the summertime when I go home, my band, and even though I stopped doing band in 10th grade because I became a football manager, but I still, my band instructor, when I would come home in the summer, even after I graduated college, would invite me to play in the community band. You know how they have some parks have
Yes.
the music shelter or whatever. And so I played the greatest love of all, and I don't know who
Oh,
heard me, somebody in the jazz band or something, and they was like, and you can't when you are in a competition, you can't have music. You have to play, ad
that's
lib or
right.
whatever.
That's right.
So they thought I could really blow like that. And so they invited me to be in the jazz band. And I was like, hold on. Like, I'm not that kind of. They was like, no, we know you could do it, da da da. And,
Hmm.
I could kind of jam a little bit in practice, but then they wanted to play at some of the basketball games. Don't ask me how that even came to be a
Well, you,
conversation to have a jazz band at the basketball games.
well,
But
well, it would be the pep band. It would be the pep squad.
right, but they at that time it was just the jazz band. They was just jamming. I don't know, and they gave
Okay,
everybody a solo. Like, and I can't do that. So when it came to me, all I could do was play the greatest love of all. It was like, um,
that's okay. That's all right.
but they said maybe you don't. Maybe this is not the right venue for you. Maybe we made a mistake. Yeah, I think you did because
Well,
that was not the move.
they could put a clubhouse beat to the greatest love of all. I've heard it, and it would have probably been swank.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would have probably been swing. And yeah, and see that's the difference when you have especially when you're in a school where they do that. We all of our music was written by music majors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was part of their job as a music major.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so, yeah, like that's why I said in the South, when we would go down there, we would say we wanted a challenge. We would have challenges and all that kind of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were already ready, but they
Right.
didn't do it like the way that we did it. Like a showcase. I will put it that way. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't showcase, but after a while, everybody started, hanging on and started doing their thing
Yeah.
as
I
far as
mean,
far as showcasing the bands in the
the
different
band is
sections.
like rapping, you get into it, like you have the drum line or whatever, and that's like you rapping, you battling, literally, but with instruments. That's the beauty of
Right,
it.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a star.
Yep. Yeah. I see Slasher Chick is saying she's invited herself on an HBC homecoming tour this year, and that's her only regret in life is
Oh
not
yes.
choosing an HBCU. Listen, so
Oh,
I went to Lincoln. My daughter, my middle daughter went to A&T and graduated. My youngest is at Spelman and is going to graduate. But my son went to UNC Charlotte. My husband went to Maryland. So
okay.
it's like my daughter's and my experience is totally different from my husband and my son's, totally. Even though my son, that school was perfect for him, it just hit different, especially afterwards.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody, just like you said earlier, I know everyone who graduated, and it was
Yeah.
1,000 plus of us.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
somebody, of course, got married and stuff like that, but I knew their
Hmm.
names.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I knew them.
Yeah.
And
You
if
you
I
either
didn't,
know them or know of them or
of
definitely
them,
know their face.
there
You
you go.
know.
We knew each other's faces
Mm-hmm.
because we interacted with each other on so many different levels.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
also I just feel like at an HBCU you get additional grooming that prepares you for the future. And that's why a lot of HBCU graduates do so well because their posture is strong. They
Yes,
have no, like, they have no racial competition in terms of being feeling as if they don't fit in because you with your people. Like everybody is your age and you're with your people and you just have this
yep,
different type of confidence that gets built in. And it's one of those, if you
absolutely.
can make it there, you can make it anywhere, because we will be
Right.
harder on each other at some points too, just preparing ourselves for that next step. And it's a different comfort level also.
And
But
and the
it
network is
is unique.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The network is amazing,
Yeah.
and yeah,
When I meet, especially where I am, and when I see a Lincoln grad, even, I mean, there's one in particular. We were there at the same exact time. We were very familiar with each other, but we have so much love for each other now, because even though we were familiar with each other when we were at school, we didn't hang out or anything like that. But just the fact that we were there at the same time, that just makes us, like, we love each other. It's just, that's it. You're my sister, you know.
that's
Um,
thank you. Tell it again. Say it again.
yeah,
You
you're
are
my
my
sister.
sis.
Yep. Yeah, for real. And and this is what I was telling my kids as they were looking at schools. I was like, you know, we, as parents, in this country, in this world, is very transient. So 9 times out of 10, at some point, we're not going to be in the house you were born in or raised in or whatever. And we, God willing, you'll outlive us. So you have to have that home base. And that's what your school is. Your school will forever be. And that's home. That's why homecoming is so special, because that's your home. That's home.
That's homecoming. Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
Because you can always go home.
Yep.
Always.
Always, no matter what, it's gonna stay there. The schools don't move. They just, that's gonna be your, like, I want to just roll around on the grass. Like, that's how much at home I feel when I go on campus. This is my house. This is my home.
Right. Right. I
Mm-hmm.
know a couple of content creators and myself. We met at Auntie's homecoming, and it was absolutely amazing. I was just so I felt like I was back in those days, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just and just having a good time. But the campus has definitely changed.
Mhm.
However, one of the things that was wonderful was me wearing my Eastern Star stuff. And I must say that when you go down south,
Mhm.
the respect
Mhm.
is totally different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
And and that's why so very important for me, when in these YouTube streets. And that's why when you said when you had asked me the question, I said, well, I didn't know, I didn't know what you were saying, because people ask me that all the time, and then they just really be joshing, but you were
Yeah.
really for real. And I
Yeah.
could tell by the way how you asked the question, and that's how I was like, okay, yeah, she's for real. I love it, because we can pick out phony. Don't get it twisted. Now I'm gonna speak to everybody
Right.
because I was taught better than that.
Right.
Howsoever, after I see how you move,
Mhm.
then I move accordingly, and I govern
Mhm.
myself accordingly at that
Mhm.
particular point. But
Yes.
yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. And
It
to see
is.
to see the fraternities and sororities, the
Mhm.
stepping,
Mhm.
after at the end of the homecoming, the game, and then of course all the fraternities and sororities, and everybody goes back to their perspective part of this campus,
Yeah.
and it's just boom, it's
It's
just amazing.
it is. It is. And
Hmm.
that also makes ensures that you have kindred spirits there, like being that I'm part of a sorority, and when I went to A&T, especially the last time, I mean, the sorors on campus just embraced me, and I just felt so much at home. I remember
Okay.
when my niece went to Lincoln. She's actually my first cousin's daughter, who also went to Lincoln, which is why I ended up going to Lincoln, because um it- I wanted to go to an HBCU, but I needed it to be close enough to New Jersey. I got into Spelman, but it was too far. And my
Hmm.
parents, they owned and operated their own business for 40 years, and they were paying cash for whatever scholarships they didn't cover. And I wanted to be able to go home and help out, like, during the holidays. I wanted to be close enough where I can go home and work and help out in the business. And so Lincoln was like
Okay.
the closest HBCU, but my cousin was 6 years older than me, and she went, and every time she came home, she just seemed like she like had a wonderful experience and got a great job. And still to this day, so many years later, decades even, she still
Hmm.
is in that same career realm of things. And I was like, what more do you want? You go to college, you want to get a career. Cute boyfriend around, along the way don't hurt either. That you
Okay.
have.
Okay.
But and actually I met my husband's best friend went to Lincoln. That's how we met. So, that whole connection. But
How about that?
yeah, yeah. And so it's just a matter of oh, so her daughter ended up going to Lincoln, and I remember she went like the mid 2000s, I want to say. And I went to visit, for homecoming, and her daughter thought she was gonna have to like babysit me, like I'm this old person, and oh, Aunt Sherry, you don't know anybody. I'm gonna have to. You're like, you're gonna have to be on your own. I'm gonna be with my. I was like, be on my own. Trust me, I'm gonna be fine. This is my house. Like, you're the visitor until proven otherwise. But
Hmm.
I
How about
remember
that?
like going to the step show. I didn't have to pay. I'm sitting in the front row, and she's like, she had to pay to get in and all this stuff. And then like that Saturday, I have a whole plate of food that young sorors brought to me to eat, and she's hungry and she's looking at me like, wait, what? I'm like, this is what I'm saying. This is my house. You don't understand.
There you go.
And she was like, oh, okay,
There
yeah.
you there you
But
go. They're so happy for you to
yeah.
come when
When
you
my
come
daughter
home.
went to A&T, my middle daughter, she said to me, she was like, Mom, this is going to be my Lincoln. I think
Okay.
sometimes, you want to have your children or your legacies go to your school, but if your presence was too much, it might be too much, too big of a footstep print to walk in. And so
Hmm.
all my kids kind of wanted to walk on their own beat, and I wanted that for them. So when she said that, I absolutely got that. Like, you know what? You're
Right.
right. That's you. This is you right here. You know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
At
Nothing at
all.
all.
Can't be
Nothing.
mad. Although if she would have went to Lincoln, I think at the time it was like 50% off if your if your
Tuition.
child goes.
How
Yeah.
about that? It was definitely a tuition difference.
Right. That's why there's a lot. If you notice, there's a lot of graduates whose children go
Hmm.
because they still give some type of discount.
Yep, they give 50% off.
Yeah.
I even have it. I was trying to get it for my niece, and she didn't, want to go. But even though
Mm-hmm.
they said it has to be, her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of negotiated that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But I love the proximity too, not too far from Philly or DC. I did my senior project at the time. It was on AIDS because AIDS had just emerged, and it was this whole big thing. And I went
Oh
to
wow.
Howard University School of Medicine and interviewed some of the doctors there. And
Oh, okay, nice.
yeah, and it's cool because it was so close that you could do that in a day. It was not a big deal.
Yep, you
um
certainly could. Black
because
doctors.
that's that whole thing. Yeah, black doctors. Yeah.
See, a lot of folks. Yeah, they're there.
They are.
Nice.
They are. I'm so glad. Listen. I really like to have plans out, lives and things of that nature. But sometimes you just need to kind of freestyle it. And because my day today was so long and just in I don't have to do a lot of preparation for the conference, but I do want to have some level of preparation. It was just a lot, but
Hmm.
I'm trying to honor the fact that I'm doing this 60-day challenge, and I
Oh,
definitely don't want to. At this point, it's about me not letting myself down with it. Like, come on, Sherry, you finished many more harder things than this. Let's get this together. Let's do this.
okay.
As much dedication as it's taking. And I know Slasher Chick is also on that journey. She's on day. Are you on day 12? Slasher Chick, she's
Okay.
doing 90 days.
Oh,
So
go ahead, Slasher
mhm.
Chick. All right, do your thing,
Yes.
y'all. All right.
Yes. She has a wonderful channel, great information, content, real talk, but also things
Okay.
that nuggets you can take away. She does a lot of great things that can help organize your life and help you set up new and better habits of doing things with
Mm,
money, with time, all that.
a new and better. I like that habits
Hmm.
routine. Exactly. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
But just so you'll know
hmm
that this year, in Philadelphia,
hmm
the White House initiative on HBCUs, which will be HBCU week, will
hmm
be here in Philadelphia. This is the very first time.
huh?
They've
When
always
is
been
it?
in
July?
DC. No, it's going to be in September.
Okay, okay.
September
Huh.
15th through 19th.
So,
So, and it's free. It's free too. It's free.
is it?
Yes, it is. It's a free conference. Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. What was it? Is that the one? Was it in DC in the previous years?
Yes, this is the first time come outside and they came to Philadelphia.
Are they
This
looking
will
for
be,
speakers
yes, they are.
on what topics?
Whatever, like HBCU is a mish.
Like
H,
recruiting from HBCUs, or
how
are
about
they
this? I have um, what time is the 18th is the deadline date.
18th of
April.
April? Okay, I mean I got stuff in our I
I
got
just
stuff.
have to send you I just have to send you the link.
Okay,
And all I have to do is send it to you and you fill it out.
okay. My email is in my description. I mean my about me section.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, then I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. I would
Not a
love it.
problem.
I would love it because
Yeah,
my
that would be
topics
great.
for something like that would be around workforce development.
Whoop, nice. Go, let's do
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
Work.
So, what do you know about the NBA's HBCU advisory board?
You know what? I have not. I've been hearing things here and there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have not honestly been. I haven't done anything. I don't know much about anything of what's going on.
But you heard whispers about it?
Yeah, I've been hearing whispers. I've been seeing some, articles and stuff, and it's like, oh
Because
God, here we
it is
go.
a Biden initiative, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
See, and this is my thing. This is why I want to be part of it. I don't believe in having an initiative, and I don't believe in one and dones. I believe in, if you put that out there, we gonna make something happen for real.
Hmm.
And that's why I feel like I really need to be part of that.
So yes, the city is currently hiring a position for HBC. Which city?
Is it Philly slasher chick or DC? Because what let me tell you, my daughter is part of this program. It's called Alt Finance. That thing is so dynamic, and I've been trying to implement it, but you need at least $9 million, 10 million probably, to have it where it needs to be. It is so dynamic. 40
Oh,
HBCU students are participating in it, and it's about
okay.
exposure, it's about increasing their social capital, it's about scholarship, it's about building awareness and giving them opportunity and just exposure. I can't even, it takes this whole session to talk about it. It is so amazing. It really
Right.
is. And it could be done, it's for finance, but it could be done for every occupation. It could be done
Exactly.
for engineering, it could be done for IT, it could be done for science, biology, like everything. It's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
she
Oh,
said
she's trying to find the
Philadelphia.
link.
She said
Okay.
she said Philadelphia. The city of Philadelphia is doing some good things. They've always done some good things.
Well,
So
now
that's
that now that we have an
of
extraordinary
course,
sister,
from Lincoln.
she's not playing. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. However, she tried to steal the A&T Aggie born, Aggie bred. When we die, we'll be Aggie dead.
Oh, oh,
That comes from A&T. So she'll
oh,
say I'm Philly born, Philly bred. So I'll be like, you can't say the whole thing like that now.
oh. She overheard it and just put her own little twist
Uh
onto it.
huh. And this Aggie pride. See what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah. So what, she try to say Philly pride?
Yeah, all of that.
Uh
I mean,
huh.
I
Uh
mean,
huh. So what does that position entail? I wonder.
NPHC,
I,
NPHC. I'm
I want to
trying to
be.
think.
I want to be on the advisory board though for the White House. Just putting it
Oh,
out there.
well, but what I'll do is I'll send you and I'll give you the information to the people that are doing that thing. The title
Mm.
is NPHC and H. I
HBCU.
wonder what the NPHC stands for.
I know, National Public Human Community.
What is it? Is it slasher? Is it under the city jobs? Is it the city jobs or
That sounds like a really interesting position though, as a director.
right? And engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Title is NPH.
Very interesting. National. Oh, okay. Okay.
Duh.
I know.
Duh.
Why couldn't I figure that out? What?
Is that with the city? Is that coming under the city's or is it just divine
Divine
non-government?
Nine
Yeah,
governing
yeah,
body.
yeah.
I feel like
Um,
I saw that somewhere. Was the but so it's not the city of Philadelphia, it's just within the city and the Divine Nine? Because there's no way the city has a Divine Nine governing body, or does it? Really?
under the city of
Hold on,
Philadelphia.
Philly. Wait a minute.
Okay. Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. I got you. Yep. Got it. Got it.
Oh, I need to look at what they're doing around DE and I and B. Then they must be doing some nice things over there in Philly. I'm gonna call. I
Absolutely.
have a couple of contacts. I'm gonna call to chat it up and see what's going on. Cause Philly, all right. But Philly
Yeah,
has a lot of definitely a lot of Divine Nine and a lot of HBCU graduates that work
absolutely,
in and
absolutely.
around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A
Alum
lot
for
of Lincoln
days.
grads too, for
Oh
sure.
my God, Lincoln! Oh my, Lincoln and Cheney. I mean, we have
Yeah.
rivals just on the street sometimes. It'd be like, oh my God, we'll be in the you could be in the store and here they come. Everybody just be like, well, I graduated for da 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 da. We're one of the few places that can still hold everyone. So it's
Yeah.
it definitely makes sense to create this role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And
And she's always wanted to do that anyway.
that's dope.
Yeah, but
But
yeah.
also, I mean, I look at Charlotte as like that. Philly's an older, like established.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to tear down the buildings. We'll just renovate the inside of it. Whereas Charlotte is a newer looking city, even though it's an old city too. But it's a newer. It doesn't have Charlotte doesn't have an identity yet. But 100 people move here every day, and we're looking more and more like a Atlanta, Philly, DC kind of vibe. But we
Okay.
just don't have
Okay.
that old feeling to it because everything is so new.
Everything is new. Okay. Okay. For
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, because my folks are from Charlotte. So
Okay. Really?
yeah.
You don't meet people from Charlotte in Charlotte.
Oh no, the charlatans.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So did
Yes,
you used to
ma'am.
come here when you were younger?
Uh huh. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was at school in college, I used to always say I wanted to live in North Carolina. I always said that I didn't know where. Now, mind you, in the the 1990s, early 1990s, 1900s, Charlotte wasn't saying anything. It was kind of like Raleigh, but I wasn't even thinking
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh. I was open. I kept my mind open. I was like, I feel like I want to live in North Carolina. I just don't know where. And I ended up moving to different places. I mean, I worked in Manhattan, I lived in LA, St. Louis, New Orleans. And when we got to Charlotte, I was like, this is where I was supposed to be.
There you go. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Charlotte. It's quaint. It's still quaint, and
Mm-hmm.
it's got a lot of import export people, but
Mm-hmm.
there's still some indigenous folks there.
Yeah.
There's still some. And my
If
folks are there.
if you
Trust me,
have some if
they've
you're
been there for a
innovative,
while.
if you're innovative and your ideas make sense, oh you can implement them here for sure.
Right,
There's
right.
room for it. I tell people like y'all come here. They need you. It's all hands on deck. We it's no matter what age. I mean, people are starting over for real here. That's what I'm saying. When I made my video this morning, I was just thinking about all the people like even in my programs, I have a target age, but I have people from 18 to 65 coming through. And typically it's 18 to 27 is the target, but it's anybody.
Okay, there you go.
And
That's what
it's
I'm
a
talking
beautiful
about.
thing to see those five different generations in the workforce at the same time, gleaning from each other.
I
That's
don't know. Some of these generations, I can't. I be ready to sock them.
I know it, but you have that's why generational diversity training is just as important as
I've had it.
doing cultural diversity training or any,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, I've
It's
had it
necessary.
though. I've had it. All the gens and all. I get it.
Yeah.
The generation they have to embrace it. It's not just for me
Oh
to
no.
change me. This is
No.
for you to also get it.
I
Okay.
know.
So
Emotional intelligence takes everyone's emotions. Like we all have to
exactly.
become intelligent with it. Mhm. For sure.
So yeah,
Goodness.
I be pledging them.
Yeah.
I pledge them. I
Mhm. Mhm.
be like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh, you'll make it. You'll be all right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. Low key. I know. I know.
But
That's how
anyway,
I am with my team too. So,
it was great talking with you
you
and
too.
Slasher, and thank you so much.
Yes.
Slasher,
Yes.
I can only find the PDF. Okay, now I'm gonna find that, and then also Sherry.
Yes.
Right, I'm going
Yes.
to email you so for the presentations for
Yes.
for
Please.
September. You're gonna
Oh my
yes.
goodness. I will definitely work on that this week. I have a lot of things already, like I could just pull from. So, but I
Hmm.
want to see what kind of parameters and things they're looking for cuz it would be my honor to speak.
There
and
you go.
share.
I would,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I'm working with them in terms of, Lord have mercy, not Will Mega. Oh my God.
Who's
Oh
that?
Jesus, take the
What
wheel
kind of
and the
small
car.
world is this really when there's billions of people
You,
literally on YouTube? You know what I mean?
oh girl, y'all don't. Let me. Y'all don't do this. Don't do it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you who this guy is. I don't care. It's not. I'm not saying his whole name, but he was on. You remember that show called Big Brother?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was back. Connie Chung. All of
Uh-huh.
them, right? Well, he was the first. He was in that first house, the very first house, and he was the first person to get kicked out of the house.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, that's not his name, but okay. Jeez whiz. Okay. And I just saw him about 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gee.
Wow. Some
Thank you,
I
Slasher.
know. Isn't that dope?
I know. So
Yes.
there you go, Lincolnites. I know that's
Yes.
right.
I appreciate you, Slasher Chick, connector of people, places, and things.
I know that's right. That's powerful what you just did. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
And it all
I'll
started.
report back to you. I'll report back to y'all, okay?
Yes, please. I love all of this. Like,
Hmm.
this part of it, and just understanding that there's so much bigger things going on in this world, in our country, in our society, and we all have to stay woke and be
Yes.
connected to one another. 6 degrees of separation is nothing. We
It's no
all know
longer.
each other or someone that knows somebody that knows somebody. Mm-hmm. Oh, so she said I didn't watch his season, but he is a fellow Lincoln alum, further proving y'all comments about the benefits of HBCU connections. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
people sleep. They think you have to go to such a big school. Now that's interesting that you went to A&T, which is the largest HBCU in the country, and then
Hmm.
Lincoln, which is one of the smallest ones in the country, but
Hmm.
yet the oldest is what I
Yeah,
love to
I mean
say.
it's the history. That's what
Yeah.
Langston Hughes and
Yes.
that's
Thurgood
our
Marshall.
Thurgood
Mm-hmm.
Marshall. Yeah,
Yep.
Kwame and Nkrumah, and
Yep.
getting my master's from there. Like you take a walk
Mm,
from
mm,
one end of the campus to the other,
mm-hmm.
and it's an amazing walk.
Yeah.
I was just crying,
Yeah.
bawling, because you
Yeah.
you got to think about the all 4 years, or and when you get in graduate schools, two
Mm-hmm.
years. You think about that time and everything that you've done, and you're
Yeah.
walking
Yeah.
to the place that's going to give you your honor, your degree, your
Yeah.
earned degree. And yeah, you break
Mm,
down. You
yeah.
break down at that point. You're like, oh my God.
Well, Rosa
But yeah,
Parks was the keynote speaker
when you
at
were there,
yes.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, it's just a lot. It's a lot of history. I look at the
Mm,
old pictures of Albert Einstein being there for one semester.
yes, I
You
remember
know.
that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I because a boss, one of my bosses that I worked with, they were friends.
Mm.
They were
Wow.
best friends. Yes, black
Wow.
man. Yeah.
Wow. That's
But
so
anyway,
deep.
yo, I'm gonna come back when you come on. I'm gonna. Oh Lord, not the point of contact, girl. I almost threw this phone out the window. You hear me? That nut,
No.
that crazy guy, Kappa.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. But I
Small
you just don't
world.
know. So I'm so connected to him. It's really interesting.
In more ways than one, I'm sure.
Oh my God.
That's so wild. And I know my line sisters because they're in like the Philly, Delaware, Maryland area.
Okay.
They you, it's things are big but not. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Shoot. And
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're really doing it right and you get around that, I, I'm not saying that this was like no big deal, because it is a big deal, because first of all, Slasher found it, and she's on her gangster, and I appreciate it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you network and when you get out there, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
That a person really knows, and they proven it's what we call street credit.
Mm-hmm.
When you have street credit, you when you have it, you know, I know exactly. She can pull something else up, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I know exactly what. Oh, okay, I know what that is.
Right.
Yeah, I know who
Right.
that is." And the only thing I have to do is pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let me tell you, that's like, so the Alphas had their 93rd Southern Regional Conference in Charlotte, and they were including a HBCU day and a community like career event. And so
Hmm.
they wanted the city to participate. And I had a
Nice.
conversation with the organizer, and I'm thinking, like, okay, it's 6 degrees of separation. Who do I know? I said, you know what? My Sans, he's an alpha, but he's my
Uh huh.
Sans. We crossed at the same time. He is the like head of communications for the national fraternity. And so
See,
I
there
was
you
like,
go.
Brother Webb? He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, he's my Sans. We pledged at the same time at Lincoln University. He said, oh, blah, blah, blah. I said, you could ask him about me. And that's another thing. You have to have your reputation, your brand has to be on point.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And
Thank you.
so I was like, you could ask him about me, like there's nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, listen, our organization, we don't have a lot of budget, and we want to participate. We need to participate. You in the Queen City. Can we do
Right.
it for free? And we got it for free. And it's like, at least a $1,200 thing for 2 days. And we
Exactly.
got it
And
for free. And it's because of he checked with Eric, and Eric, vouched, and that was that. That's how it works.
that's all you need. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yep.
Well, ladies, I'm getting ready to turn in and get some rest.
Yes, me
And,
too. I
and
appreciate this. I wasn't expecting to be on this
yes,
long. I was like, I probably do 15 minutes. Let me get my live in.
right, right.
Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I appreciate it for
Thank you.
sure.
And I
Mm-hmm.
will be updating y'all, Slasher Conscious and Coach Sherri, and I'll be updating y'all. I
Okay.
might bring I might bring Will on the line here
All right.
one day.
I would love
Crazy.
it. Listen.
Yes, yeah, and he'll love to talk now. God knows.
All right. I mean, that's what we do. So
Exactly.
I would love it. And especially to keep us woke, what's really
Mm-hmm.
going on. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. All
Well,
right,
I'm
y'all.
gonna have to
Thank you.
thank you. Thank
And
you.
I'll get your email from your description.
All right.
That thing.
Perfect. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes. Have a good night.
Yes, you all too. Good night.
Yeah. Only 75% left to go. Yes, I know. Oh my goodness. And I mean, it's starting to become more natural, something I'm looking forward to. Definitely trying to plan it out. I didn't do such a good job this weekend planning out what I wanted to do all week, because I do have this conference I'm going to tomorrow. But I'm hoping that tomorrow I can maybe even recap what happens at the conference, because it should be interesting. I'm on two panels that I'm looking forward to. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and being here, being in the building. Slasher Chick came through her live. If you have not connected with her, I highly recommend that you check her out. Conscious Business Services and Opportunities. I appreciate you for being here too. If you don't have her, please reach out and check out her. She has some great conversations, panels, as well as things to meditate on to kind of free your mind and get in tune with your body. And of course, TCHBCU Queen TV. Oh my goodness. Just happenstance finding her in a live one day and saw the HBCU Queen, and it made me curious. I have a high level of curiosity. And I asked her, well, that sounds like you went to an HBCU. And it just so happened one of the HBCUs she did go to was my alma mater, as well as the other is one of my daughter's alma maters. So it really is a small world. We are all connected. So that's why it's so important to treat yourself right, but treat those in your circle right too. Anyone you encounter, be kind, have compassion, have empathy, because you just never know. Burn no bridges because you may have to go back over, or one of your legacies, and you want to be able to have them go over it safely. So again, thank you so much. This has been a spontaneous, impromptu kind of live. I really like the Mingle Monday live concept. Please be sure to connect. And until we speak again, remember to practice so hard that when you play, you will always play to win. I will be back here tomorrow evening. Thanks again. I am Coach Sherri.